Howdy everyone, Polcher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're going over the Discord announcement made 2 days ago. It's actually way longer than 2 days. I've completely lost track of time. I'll read it for you. I'm not putting it up on the screen because I'm a bit lazy at the moment, but I'll read it. Level 12 gear is currently a part of the Cradle of Chaos mode, which means it is particularly relevant to Age of Magic veteran players. In the future, we will speed up the 12th level equipment distribution, and we will add the necessary items to other game modes as well. You have already seen how this works with the example of Arcane Stars. I've made this example many times before. When Arcane Stars were released, they were extremely difficult to get, and as time has progressed, they have become slightly easier. I'm not saying they become overwhelmingly easier, just slightly easier. First Arcane Stars were difficult to obtain, but now they are available in multiple game modes. We also plan to provide more ways to strengthen heroes in order to facilitate the completion of the new content. One of these ways would be raising the level of your account and heroes to 100. So that's the big thing. We see it as a natural way to continue the progression of Age of Magic. With the addition of the new levels, we will rebalance silver and experience potions income by adding them to various modes rewards. In conclusion, we would like to touch on another hot topic of Age of Magic community. You noted that we've ticked all the boxes. Okay, and it goes on about roadmap stuff, and they've done stuff that they've said they're going to do, and so forth, something or other, and updating, and yep, good. Okay, so what are we covering? Okay, so progression. Gear 13, level 100. So Gear 13 is extremely difficult to get. Calculated, and I'm talking the best RNG in the game. I mean, God has come down and blessed you with the touch of his presence, good RNG. It would take you, if they released no new heroes in the game, like roughly 2 years to get every hero fully Gear 13'd. Roughly at a absolute minimum, max, I don't know, 4 or 5. It's a long time. So the Gear 13 distribution in the game is currently not viable. It needs to be improved. And I'm sure it will be, but it needs a drastic increase, especially with how quickly heroes are released. So there is that. Now, they're level 100. So if they do release level 100, that almost also means your player level is going to increase to 100. Now, one comment I see a lot, which I am opposed to. I've always been opposed to it. I know some people are not going to like me saying it, but they're like, what about all the experience we've been gaining at level 90? Will it carry over? Of course it's not going to carry over. No game in the history of the world has got a level cap and allowed you to store extra experience so that when the new cap increases, you can instantly hit it. It's never going to happen, no matter what game you play. If there is one out there, by all means, prove me wrong. It is just not a thing. It doesn't exist. It will never exist. However, in saying that, I do agree that Playcott needs to change what happens when you are level capped. You should not be earning experience when level capped. Instead, there should be an option to toggle between extra silver or extra experience potions for your heroes. That way you can choose what you need more of. Okay, you're level capped. You go into options. You say, hey, I want my bonus experience to be converted into silver or experience potions. Now, mind you, this obviously isn't going to be a lot. I mean, 1 energy is 1 experience point. I don't know how you're going to convert that into terms of silver or experience potions. But I can't see it being a lot. But there definitely should be a substitute for when you hit max level, because it's wasted resource. Experience at the end of the day, experience is a resource. And when you are level capped, the resource is useless. It means nothing to you. So it would be nice if they did change it and allowed you to substitute that experience for something else. So that's going to be the next thing. So obviously going to be a progression in strength increase. The increase in power from 80 to 90 is pretty significant. I have no doubt the increase in power from 90 to 100 is going to be increased. But in saying that, with level 100 being the max, you're obviously going to see new raids. You're obviously going to see new levels in Cradle of Chaos. There is no way Playcott is not going to update Cradle of Chaos. It's the new thing. In fact, I wouldn't mind if they time crunched everything else in the game and made Cradle of Chaos the only time grinding thing in the game. And it is time grinding. So they're going to obviously do what they can to improve Cradle. Cradle of Chaos is the love baby of Clan Wars. It's what Clan Wars should have been in terms of how it works. Because Clan Wars is just a mess. It is. I've said it before. I will say it again, and I'll say it till the game mode dies. Cradle of Chaos, on the most part, is a success. People are obviously a bit frustrated with the difficulty of it. They're a bit frustrated with the time commitment to it. And I honestly don't see the time commitment being an issue if they add better rewards to Cradle. I feel like people are frustrated because you need to be top 500 to get that extra Gear 13 chest, which is extremely valuable because they're so rare. I feel like if they did throw a Gear 13 chest in Region 1, there would be a bit more positive feedback to it. So that's where we're sitting on that. Level increase, sure, why not? Sorry, a bit thirsty. In terms of other things in the game, I've been branching out and testing a lot of games at the moment. Age of Magic was built off the foundation of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Marvel Strike Force. I don't actually know if Marvel Strike Force came out before or after Age of Magic. I cannot remember. But it's the same concept. And what these games lack is customization. It's real hard to just build random teams. And playing other games at the moment, unlike the three that I just mentioned, Age of Magic, Marvel Strike Force, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, other games have a lot of customization. I feel like that's definitely a route Playcott should be looking at. Adding a lot more... I mean, it'd be very hard. It would be very hard to go through this and change every single hero. So I feel like the best option would be to add extra brotherhoods or some type of new connection. I just feel like every hero should work as an individual unit. I don't think they should be restricted to brotherhoods. I don't think they should be restricted to factions. I just feel like they should work as a single unit and you build different teams for different game modes. I feel like if Playcott created Age of Magic 2, they kept Age of Magic 1, but they created Age of Magic 2 where factions weren't a thing, I feel like there'd be so much more room to build game modes, build unique events. At the moment, you are getting a lot more use out of your heroes in Cradle of Chaos, because obviously and that's the great thing about Cradle of Chaos, they've added strength to almost all your heroes. I just feel like that's such a good thing. If I go into level 1, we can have a look, kobolds, wild elves, dwarves, orcs. I just feel like that's tremendous for the game. It almost feels like you can't make a mistake. If you accidentally put gear into a hero, PvP wise, they're still going to be shit, but I think this just gives so much more value to everyone's accounts. But yeah, obviously, power increase coming. Get used to it. Accept it. It's going to happen no matter your opinion or how you feel about it. They do very much need to reconsider, though, how people get experience potions in silver, because it is one of the most valuable resources in the game. In fact, silver in this game, compared to other games I play, is ridiculously valuable. In a lot of other games, you just you end up getting to a point where silver becomes almost irrelevant. So it would be interesting to see how they combat that, because they can't keep it the same. They can't allow new players to come into this game with an impossible journey ahead of them. There has to be some light. There has to be a chance for new players to catch up, because the game just dies otherwise. If new players aren't catching up and becoming endgame viable, and endgame players are leaving, because endgame players leave every day. Let's face it, endgame players leave every day. New players come in every day. But, I mean, you're not getting a new player up to the level of endgame to replace the amount of endgame players leaving. So, yeah. Anyway, that's everything covered. I just wanted to cover everything that's happening in the game at the moment and possible outlooks on how things are going to happen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're on the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.